Ever wondered what makes TV so powerful in Jamaica? Time to find out. Welcome to Global TV Group 358, where television meets innovation. We're not just about shows, we're about shaping society. In Jamaica, TV keeps you informed, connects diverse voices, and supports democracy. Imagine a Jamaica where broadcasters unite, sharing data and collaborating globally. That's us, a unified voice in the TV industry. Did you know TV advertising is still king? It drives website traffic, boosts brand equity, and powers integrated campaigns. Even in an age of digital, TV stands strong, resilient in tough times. Our global TV deck is your treasure trove of insights and data. With charts, graphs, and success stories, it's your guide to impactful TV advertising. Curious to learn more? Visit our website and see how Global TV Group 358 keeps television at the heart of entertainment in Jamaica. Get ready to binge watch the future.
Only a look at Jesus.
Tonight we'll pray from Psalms 2. Why do the heathen rage, and the people imagine a vain thing? The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, Let us break their bonds asunder and cast away their cords from us. He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh. The Lord shall have them in derision. Then shall he speak unto them in his wrath, and vex them in his sore displeasure. Yet I have set my king upon my holy hills of Zion. I will declare the decree the Lord hath said unto me, Thou art my son, this day have I begotten thee. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost part of the earth for thy possession. Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron. Thou shalt dash them into pieces like a potter's vessel. Be wise now, therefore, O ye kings, be instructed, ye judges of the earth. Serve the Lord with fear, and rejoice with trembling. Kiss the Son, lest he be angry, and ye perish from the ways, when his wrath is kindled but with a little. Blessed are all they that put their trust in him. To my community of party and all my family members, platform moderators, membership holders, viewers, subscribers, commenters, and trolls, good evening. Welcome, one and all. Thank you for joining us this evening on Your People's Point of View program. This evening, we'll be looking at the Prime Minister who told us that his government is a listening government. However, on the matter of Andrew Wheatley, the people are not being listened to. Another investigative report is being sent over to Parliament to be tabled, as well as I'm going to play the devil's advocate tonight in relation to the Trelawney rape and triple murder. Let's get on with it. Hold on to everybody. Hold on to wagwan. Let's go to the top of the chat downward. Debbie Jarvis, TV, good evening and welcome. Empress Deb, good evening, good evening. Pamela Acola, Gloria Morris, good evening and welcome. Laverne, Andrea Joan Hamilton Wilson, good evening. Suzette Williams, Miranda Ruddock, Barbara Simpson, Lynette Jenkins, Evan Miller, Lux Communication, good evening. Baron Leslie, Annie Jones, Marcia Thomas, good evening, good evening. Leonie Denton, good evening. Ladybug, good evening and welcome. Good evening all. Who else is there? Abinasa Cody, good evening and welcome. Good evening, good evening. In the Mix TV, good evening and welcome. Who else is there? Monica Taylor, good evening. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Global TV. It is your program, The People's Point of View. We'll be looking at the Prime Minister disrespect. We have a few clips from the Prime Minister, but they won't irritate you because by the time they start to irritate you, it gets to the end of it. Colin, good evening. But I'm going to play the devil's advocate with the situation in Troy. Firstly, though, we'll go to two clips from the father. You know, all the media houses will be up there and chitter-chatting and getting views and opinion. So we have two clips from the father, I think one from the Star and one from TVJ. We'll go to the one from the Star first, and then we go to the TVJ one afterwards. And then we'll play the devil's advocate afterwards. And bear in mind, I said I will be playing the devil's advocate. G. Wayne, how you do? I will be playing the devil's advocate. Let us listen to the father.
Oh, my name is Junior Cook from Troy, Trelawney. As a truck driver, everybody know me as Junior Cook, but my name originally on paper is Aston Alfonso Cook.
And you're the father of?
I'm the father of Shania Cook, living in the district of Troy, Trelawney, where this incident had took place.
What incident? Tell us what happened to your daughter.
It is a murder took place with my daughter. She was coming from shop and somebody took her away, raped her and slashed her throat.
When did this happen?
It happened yesterday evening. I don't sure what time when it took place, but when I get the call, it was after 6 going to 7 o'clock when I get the call. And I was terrified. I didn't even know myself. And I don't know how I was gonna get there because I'm a sick person. Don't know how I was gonna get there. But anyway, I have cousins who come around and take me around there. And they still didn't let me get over to the scene of the accident, of the murder. But I still balance myself to stay out on the roadway. I couldn't see over there because it's dark now and stuff like that. And I stayed there until late night, minutes after 11. And I came back home, minutes after 11, minutes after 12, and I came back home, you know. But I miss my daughter real well. very well. And me and she have a very great relationship. Morning and evening, she stop here and check on me. And even before that, when I operate a small business out there, small hardware store, when she coming from school in the evening, she stopped there. She tell me what's going on in school in the daytime. Sometimes I help her do her homework. Sometimes it's raining and stuff like that. And I told her, you can go home before the rain came down a lot because you have to cross over a little river to go to your yard. But I was so concerned by this guy around there with that child, and because she's the only girl child into the neighborhood around there where she lives at. And it's a very lonely strip to get to our house. After you pass a few houses which is there, then it's about an empty 4-block road, which around a corner. Very dark area. Dark night, dark day. And that's where they took her away and do what they do to her. You know, but the grandmother sent her to shop to go purchase meat for dinner. So, you know, say she leave house very early, like 3 o'clock hours or 4 o'clock hours to come.
Please give me your name.
Right, we'll go to the TVJ clip, and then we'll go back to a video from this morning. Let's go to the TVJ clip.
Aston Cook. I'm the father of the deceased. Her name is Shania Cook. Live in the Tri district in the neighborhood of Tirewood. And there was an incident where your grandmother sent her to shop and can't see her return. And by searching for her, they go and find her in this position, word, slaughtered and raped. He is the father, very opulent father of his son. No matter what you tell him about his son, he never rang for him yet. Until he even tried to trap up people last night because he's defended his son and lock up his son into a room and said his son did not do such act. And unto the long run, the son come out and admit it and say, yes, he have done it. Aston Cook, I'm the father of the deceased.
I am being told that this is all families. Mr. Coke on screen here is related to the father of the guy that raped and murdered his daughter. Also, we are also understanding that the father did not die, but the son had died. So this is one messy, depressing situation. One messy and depressing situation. Let me leave that part for now because the grief is heavy at the moment. Let me though go back to the video that we played this morning, and then I will play the devil's advocate after this video. Now I want you to pay attention to the police officer. This is what I'm going to play devil's advocate with. So I want you to pay close attention to the officer, short a clip though it is. That's what I want you to pay attention to, because that's what I will be playing devil's advocate with.
Globalist.
Right.
Hold
You
on.
would have seen.
Hold on.
You would have seen in the video where the police officer was on scene. Donna Thompson, how you do, Errol? Remember, I said I'm playing devil's advocate. And you've got to also remember that this morning I also said, in practice, I do not support jungle justice, but there are cases and circumstances where it may be necessary. This, I believe, from what we are hearing and know at the moment, this might just be one of them. You must also bear that in mind. What if I tell you, though, that in a real world, there is a human rights issue? It's the legal hot. It's not me speaking, it's the legal tongue. So you have to bear with. What if I tell you that in a real world, there is a human rights issue with the video that we have just watched? Is there anyone screaming at me, what on earth is he talking about? Violet Watson, how are you? In a real world, there is a human rights issue in the video we've just watched. I will try to explain legal scenario, the real world scenario to you, or one would argue, what is the real world? Is it the action that was taken that is the real world, or is it another outcome that he's talking about when he mentions in the real world? Monica Wills, good evening. Greatness, how you do? Let me put on the legal hat here. The police was on scene. That is to be seen. You saw in the video that the police went into the dwelling, put him out, then closes the door. That is the human rights issue in that action. Regardless of what he had already done, the rape and murder, it's one thing the community take justice into their own hands, as opposed to the police silently supporting or being an accessory to the jungle justice. The police were meant to take control. I understand what you're saying, Donna. The police cannot manage the citizens them. But he was in the house where, based on law and policing, the police should have arrested him and kept him in there until further backup come. And then, as we would expect in law, for the law to take its course. That's one side of the world scenario. It's not that I'm going against the jungle justice in this particular issue. One have to look at the scenario where, with regards to the police action, if it is jungle justice for another reason without the rape and murder of a child, because I think the rape and murder of a child warrants a different action to just a murder of somebody, not downgrading anybody's killing, but there's just a different feel and reaction to it. But it was for the duty of the police to have taken control of the situation and to protect lives on both sides. But it's a tricky situation, isn't it? Remember, me say, the devil's advocate may play. That's one possibility. The people them could have light the house of fire. But just to point out the legalities of it, there could be a human rights issue in cases like this. If it was country like America, his family would be able to sue the state for human rights violation, failure to protect his human rights when they possibly could have. Remember, me said the devil advocate and play, but it's quite a situation. And then to know, been made to understand that this is all a family situation. Mr. Coke and the father of the killer who is in hospital are family. They're all relatives. But what the father explained in the video around that dark corner or whatever, when say no house, no, they when say darker night and darker day. Given they were aware of the nature of the young man, because I think I'm being told he came out of prison last year when the papa must have bailed him off. I think it was after him raped the little boy or something of the sort of that. But he has a record. Shana is also been failed by the state. This guy shouldn't have been out on the street. He definitely shouldn't have been on the street. The father apparently tell the police them same I play dead to save him life. The father played dead to save him life. But it's quite a situation. But she has been failed by family based on information that I'm having that I won't say at the moment. She's also been failed by the state. I'm also been told that one person is arrested by the Falmouth police. I assume it's one of those who were involved in the jungle justice. It's quite a scenario to get your head around. Honest to God. I do understand the rage of the community. I really do. Maybe me myself, if I was a part of the community, I would have been involved in the rage. I don't know. You never know what can flick your switch and make you become out of character or do what you don't think or believe you would have done when the circumstances has not presented itself. But it's quite a situation, but there are all-round failure. There are all-round failure in this situation because this guy shouldn't have been on the street. This guy should not have been on the street. When Mark Golden is talking now. You mean in Parliament? Oh, or there's something meeting a broadcast. Me never remember, you know. Hold on, let me see if me. Are you Jamrock? Are you talking about the what's you gonna call it? The thingy they're doing in Black River? I totally forgot about it. I didn't even know they were going to broadcast it, if that's what you're mentioning, the town hall. Yes. Let me see if we tapped into that for a while. I weren't even aware. Bear with. Bear with.
Or of any state agency that is involved in the approval process for a project, if they override or modify a decision, which is what the NARA legislation allows them to do, they don't have to publish the information about that. That was one of the main concerns that we had. The lack of a board to ensure that this agency that is going to be responsible for the spending of billions of US dollars.
We'll come back to our normal schedule in a bit.
To a minister who happens to be the PM. That's not an appropriate structure for a statutory body. There ought to be a board of directors in a normal way to provide oversight and governance to make sure that the person who is in charge of running the entity is doing so efficiently, in a way that is above board, and is executing the policies that have been set for him or her. That was another concern that we have. In the meantime, NARA's purpose seems to have evolved, because when you hear about what NARA is intended to do, they're talking about things like building a new hospital in Kingston, to replace the Kingston Public Hospital. That has nothing to do with Hurricane Melissa whatsoever. What do I say now? The re-envisioning and rebuilding of Jimmy Cliff Boulevard in Montego Bay, which is the hip strip. You know, again, a project which was on the table to be executed before Melissa. We're hearing, is NARA going to that? You know, upgrading courthouses or all sorts of things. When what we really need is a serious housing program to help people to get their houses back into habitable condition. And we need a program to help businesses restart, retool, buy stock, fix their premises. So we don't even, from what we're hearing, NARA is not even going to be up and running probably until the end of the year, because they have to build out their staff and all the rest of it. They're in talks with international development partners for assistance around the administration of NARA. So it's not going to be a rapid response, when what Jamaica needs is a rapid response. People's lives are turned upside down. And so I'm very disappointed in the response of the government to this. I must tell you, I would have thought that having gone through the COVID experience, when certain things were put in place, for example, to help tourism workers who had been laid off because the tourism industry had shut down, and even small business owners, if they could show that they were licensed and so on, they could get a grant and that kind. We're not seeing any of that. So the whole thing is totally inadequate, and it is contributing to the underperformance of the economy, and it is to be the subject of serious debate and commentary. And I'm talking about it. I don't hear civil society talking about it. I don't hear the private sector talking about it. But I don't know whether they're afraid of government or what it is. But it needs to be said. You can't sit down in Kingston and things are all right and just assume that that is how Jamaica, the whole of Jamaica is. You know, that is not the case. And we are very concerned about it. We have heard announcements to do with Black River and parity and the building of a new town and so on. Now, we did some research in anticipation of this meeting, and we discovered, based on the research, that some 2/3 of the land in this area are relatively small holdings. So that means that there are a lot of people who are going to be affected by any supposed relocation. And the concerns of the people, the views of the people and their opinions, their vision for what that may look like if we're going to have a new, what's going to happen to them and their livelihoods, their family land, where their relatives may be buried, if they're fisher folk, access to the sea, all of these things. These things need to be worked through with the people. It has to be a people-centered thing. You can't be just making decisions in Jamaica House or wherever it is and saying to everybody, this is what it's going to be. I understand that Major General Anthony Anderson came down here yesterday or the day before. And I'm glad to see that he came. Maybe he heard about the town hall and decided he would show his face before. Whatever it is, I'm glad he came. But that is not really a structured form of consultation with the people. There needs to be a structured form of consultation with the people to ensure that the people's lives are improved by whatever plan is being executed and developed and executed. Not the reverse, not where some people just think this is the ideal solution and we're going to run with that. That cannot work. And we intend to be vigilant about that as well. You know, at the same conference, I mentioned transport operators because I've been seeing indications where transport operators and the motoring public is under stress by the way in which the Road Traffic Act is being enforced, where people are being given tickets for fairly very ordinary and unnecessary things. Eating peanuts while driving. Having your phone anchored in a device. Not talking on the phone, you know. You just have it there and they say it's careless driving or something is impeding your view. And this is a country that is under stress. Cost of living is going through the roof. So the price of gas has gone up and up. Electricity is going up. Everything is going up. Because even to transport goods around the world now, freight costs have gone up hugely. So everything is being worked through into the price of all products that you have to consume. This is not a time for unnecessarily onerous enforcement of laws that really are not having an impact on road safety anyway. And then you're going to put the demerit point system on top of that. I think we need to have a review in Parliament of all of the road traffic offenses to see how they operate in practice and to make sure that they are balanced and they are proportionate and that they make sense for the people. I will not touch on the issues of water or agriculture or indeed financing business and so on, because we have very able persons with the responsibilities for those portfolios here who will speak. I would just ask them, don't speak too long, because really the town hall aspect of this is important, which is really the opportunity for citizens to raise their concerns, and so we can hear from the people and the people can hear from us in response to those concerns. So I'm not making any long speech, but I just wanted to set an overview of where we are. The economy is in a serious state, and the government are dealing with the crisis of Melissa and the cost of living crisis that has come with it in the very inadequate way that they are really contributing to the problem. And it needs a bold and well thought through solution to get the people of Jamaica, especially the people in the West, here in St. Elizabeth and other parishes which have been affected by the hurricane, back on their feet, back in proper shelter, back able to run their business, back able to live lives of dignity and lives where they can pursue their hopes and dreams. Thank you for having us here today. One love. God bless you all.
Please give Mr. Mark Golding another round of applause. You will hear from him again. As you know, this is a town hall address, so the most important thing is to hear from you, and then they will respond. But as you know, this town hall meeting is not just hearing from the residents of Black River, but we're hearing from the residents of St. Elizabeth. And as such, we would like to hear from the minority leader, Councillor Donovan Pagan, to give some greetings.
I'm not as short as the MC, you know. All protocols observed, but I have to big up our leader of the opposition, Mr. Mark Golding. Residents of St. Elizabeth, greetings and salutations. Now, I am glad to be here this afternoon because certain things is happening. I'm going to be very parochial and brief. Welcome to the former mayor, my good friend, Everton Seaton Fisher is in the house. Now, residents, after Melissa, we have heard of certain things that is going to happen in Black River. They are going to build back a new city. Now, from the hurricane has happened, we have not been invited, the local authority, to any of the consultation meetings. We have been left out of the loop. And Mr. Golding, we have a proper planning unit at council who cannot be left out. We know the nooks and crannies of Black River. So we have to be involved in it from day one, but we are left out. Now, also who has been left out? They had a meeting, but it's mostly the bigger business people that was present at that meeting. We have a lot of small business persons in and around Black River who was not at those meetings, and they cannot be left out of the loop. Because in rebuilding, we need the advice of the small man. You cannot rebuild without the small man. The small people, you don't agree with me? The small people know the thing. It's not everything the bright man with the education or the big engineers, them know everything. Listen to the people. Because sometimes flood happen here, the engineers don't listen. And when down the road, the thing mash up again. So it is good to listen to the small people. And when your time comes, in this meeting, I don't want you to be shy. Make your voices be heard. We have a lot of spokesperson here who will listen to you, and everything that you comment and suggest here will be documented. So residents, I want you to sit back and enjoy this meeting, and I want you to participate 100%. And thank you all for coming.
Thank you so much, Councillor Pagan. Thank you so much for sharing your few remarks. And I want to officially acknowledge the councillor for the West River Division, Councillor Everton Fisher. Balaclava Division. We are being hosted in Black River, at Black River High School, by the councillor of Black River, and I'd love for him to come and share his few greetings and his experience during this entire recovery.
Greetings, brothers and sisters. I want to just pause to acknowledge our opposition leader, Mark Golden, and all the officials sitting here on the platform, and you, the citizens and residents of Black River and surrounding community. I greet you well. Today, everybody here is left with a story after the passing of Hurricane Melissa. Everybody Ian hears, everybody have a testimony with Melissa. But for us, the local residents, the local councillor like myself, Donovan Pagan, Everton Fisher, O'Neill Buchanan, and Leighton Smith, we have a different experience, because if you notice, the resources coming to you through us as councillors is nothing. Because since the passing of the hurricane, all councillor has received is $250,000 to issue out care package to people. That $250,000, because when I realize the non-GO, non-profit organization, if I never them opposition leader Mark Golden, my people would have more funeral here in Black River. Even myself went to, what the food place name again? Royal Food Kitchen to collect lunch at daytime because of the condition of my house. Not only that, we were supposed to prepare for the next hurricane season. And the minister come out. Oh, this is not a political meeting. We council sometimes on the course we are telling the truth. The Minister of Local Government come out and he make a big announcement. 70 million will come to parish councils for council to clean drain. But only for the people to know that you have 220 councillors. And when you divide that by 70 million, you get $307,000. But people see you every day and they must say, yo, the minister announced you get money country, where money there, and now you can't start the work. But what I want as Donovan Pagan share with you, I want all of us to have an open discussion and be frank with each other. And at the end of this meeting, I want everybody to leave at least with a real hope. God bless you all. The word is love.
Truth. Truth. That's the councillor for the Black River Division. We're going to change up the modality of the agenda so that we can hear more from you, the residents, the citizens. And then we will hear from the spokespersons, because if we allow them to speak, they will not hear enough from you to respond. The whole agenda of this meeting is to hear from you. Flip the script a bit. We're going to allow for the segment where we have the opening of the floor. And what we will have is your questions being addressed by the spokesperson representing that issue. And then they can respond to you in the line. But before we get to that point, let me just outline some of the ways that we can make this process run a little smoother. So as you know, on the platform, we have the spokespersons for various areas. We have the spokesperson on water, MP Ian Hills. Everybody know Ian Hills, right? All right, so he's a spokesperson on water. So when you come up to ask your question, don't ask multiple questions. Maybe ask 1 or 2 questions so that when the response is given, he can give it in a wholesome way. And if you hear a response that may address your question, you may not need to ask it again. So we want it to run a little smoother. Then what would happen too, even though we have spokespersons on housing, industry and investment, spokesperson on housing, industry, trade and global logistics and agriculture, they may be able to answer a few more questions outside of their portfolio. And maybe you can address some of those questions also to the opposition leader. So I don't want to be limited, but I also want you to be clear and concise. All right, so there's a microphone to my left, to your right. Everybody see that microphone right there? We have somebody recording some of these information. So what you will do is, we're gonna ask you to just come up to the microphone, ask your question. We will take that microphone to you if you are not able to move, because we have to be mindful of those who are not able to move so easily, agilely through the rows. Right, just hold up your hand and somebody will take the microphone to you. And then we will ask the responding spokesperson to respond to that question. So we'll take 2 and then a response, instead of 1 question, 1 response. So 2 questions and then 1 response. So we're going to open the floor now. We're going to ask the public. We're going to ask the residents of St. Elizabeth and those of Black River, especially those affected. I hope there are residents from Patty. I hope there are residents from Slipe. I hope there are residents from Brompton. Because, opposition leader, I would like to acknowledge that there are times when people not recognize that Brompton is affected by this hurricane just as Black River. There is no Black River without Brompton, because Brompton and Black River are sisters, sister and brothers. And so they are just as heavily impacted by this hurricane, and I'm sure they will share their experiences that they have had over these past 9 months. So residents and citizens, this is your time. This is your opportunity to share, and I want you to be honest. I want you to be frank, and I want you to be respectful, because we're also on the media, we're online, and people will hear what you have to say. So we're gonna just take the questions now. So anybody want to start? Mr. Richard Reynolds, you want to start? I know you have a lot to share. Oh, thank you so much. It might not be a question, but it might be a testimony, an experience.
Good evening. I'm coming from Slinton, right? And good evening. I know that all of we are here to join a meeting this evening. But what I'm coming up here to tell, the hurricane affect all of us. Some people are on the tarpaulin as well right now. They have nowhere to go. My house is affected. I don't have a roof right now neither. And we were really damaged. We have to find food that we can give it to our neighbor. You understand? And thank you for come up here and have a real talk. This what I was talking about. We have no water, and Mr. Buchanan is trying best to give us. So we need assistance. And by Sillington, it's a desperate place because we are bad. We have 155 chickens and all guns. A little man come here and put in like an assistant to us. He's away from Kingston, right? I went to NIS office and they come on my yard. And them said, listen to me talk. They said they're gonna give we assistance over there. Few people get something. Much of the people that don't get anything at all. Me went there and all me asked, and not even a single $200 me don't get. You understand? We have a children for go to school. Nobody come there except Mr. Buchanan. We out of water, Mr. Buchanan. You understand what I'm saying? This evening too, we need assistance for the roof because some people not nowhere until today said there. You understand me? Not even food. If whenever Mr. Buchanan we don't eat around here. We don't have anything around here. We need assistance around here. As to the water is most important too. We don't have no road neither. Food for the poor come there. Listen to me, lady. Food for the poor come there. And I put on some roof and give it wander. And them say they can't cover all of the house. All the house they can't cover. You understand what I'm saying? We need assistance around here. Because no cannibal no live around here. It's a people live in this community around here. So we need assistance around here. It's very bad around here. It's very, very bad around here. We have walked 17 miles to get a cup of water to be. Look pretty good. Come on, man.
Thank you so much.
Tell me now. If there's something all right. It can't all right, brother. When look up at NIS, them tell us your name not come down police, brother. Talk it out, man.
So,
all right. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Based on what I'm hearing, she needs a response from
the government,
the housing, roofs program, and water. What are the possible assistance for those areas? All right, we're going to take one more question and then we go to the responses.
Anyway, good afternoon. Me is from Vineyard, about 5 miles out of Black River. And my concern is agriculture me depend at this time.
This is Brian.
Them say if you register with RADA, you register. You can't get your animal them tag. You can't get your animal cell. So that is my main concern. Water also. We are suffer. We don't know road. Vineyard not exist. Eh? Trust me, man. Me I tell you, me fed up. But I just show me not easy to give up. But me fed up. You understand? Cause boy fly green a waste of time. You call him name. Waste of time. You understand? Don't mention Andrew. Me no want to hear them. Me no want to see them. Me fed up. Me no know what next. Anything you try a problem. If you come run like a taxi, problem. If you carry out your product, problem. Me want me cow fi sell and me can't get me cow sell. Some tag, some no tag. Me want to know what's going on. That is my few words. God bless you all.
Thank you so much.
Brian,
I just want to reaffirm that we have to remain respectful despite the circumstances, and we're going to have the response. Can take a few more. We're gonna.
So that's is data.
All right, we're gonna move to one more question and then a response. One more question.
It's gonna be more of concern than question.
Good evening, everyone. Big up on yourself, comrade. You don't know what's the TikTok boss this. Big up yourself, Mr. Mark Wheatley. I'm right here with you. We don't know this speed. Good enough. I joke when I make when you see me in front of Mr. Mark Wheatley, but Mr. Dayton can't lie, you may come out. Yes, so nice. You always say no, Mr. Dayton.
Really nice.
I'm from Bag District, Carmel, PO, Westmoreland. That's where I born. Right? So that's where I born, but I grew up in St. Elizabeth, Black River, and me is all around that to Jamaica. I'm telling you something, sometimes I hear someone talk about politics. See the original you feel it. Me telling me come like I'm born from before Michael Manley and them people. So Mr. Dayton Campbell, what I have to say to you. I'm from Bag District, which where PJ Patty so used to have him van. Broke down with roast yam pan fireside, send a White House go buy gas and come back right a Bag corner. You know where Forward Square is, Mr. Dayton, where they have a football ground over there. I am moving back to Westmoreland. Come live on my yard, there come on my yard. I'm want to near you. I don't want you there far from me. Come and show you the ropes in Westmoreland. Come, I can show you everything in Jamaica. See me, you know. Anyone that want it, Mark Wheatley, I can lead on today because I know we're mashed up. I know we're breakdown. I know where the labor right them nyam down, pick down, broke down, pop down, how they mash up Jamaica. So what I want to tell you now, we have never been through light, good street light in Bag District, Pinnacle, New Works, Petersville, Petersfield, Darliston, Newmarket. We don't have no good proper light there. So we want internet come. We want keep up the PNP party upcoming. Mark Wheatley, when I all left in my party, me dead with you. Everybody can go and me dead with you. I'm Mr. Comrade.
Thank you.
Hold on. Mr. Mark Wheatley. I'm me.
This is what they do not want cartoonists to turn out in a political campaign. It's a meeting of concerns or questions.
The girl will live under the chop hall in a Newtown right there, so. And no, me still under the chop hall in. Me just make me video come out of the chop hall in. So now run come out of Black River High School, Mark Wheatley is here. So here what I want to say to you now, Mr. Dayton. Water, easy for Westmoreland. Very easy. We have the spring there. We have a well there. The well is in Forward Square, right where you see the football ground. One well up on the side where you see the container them over there. So one big well over there. So for run water in our community. Here we again. You see down a Beast and Spring, we have a spring. So left all that can serve left all Petersville and them places. You know, see if you don't know Jamaica, just come to me. Let I tell you something. This is like a testimony. I used to be a stripper. Me not afraid to tell you the whole world know me. So true that me know the whole of Jamaica. Me I travel from a long time ago all about. Me know every crevice and corner. I know where lockdown. I know where poverty take over. I know where stress take over. Listen me, if you don't have dancehall and music in a Jamaican activity as football and them someday, Jamaica can't come back to no matter what we need sports and entertainment in this.
Thank you very
That
much.
is what run it, and that is what make market vendor sell. When you have your farmer, your food that sell on the ground, you come at the place or the dance hall place, come sell it. It will sell it. The people when you keep the event, I go buy it to come sell the peanuts. So people would have done with farming like this. Andrew Holness could have come lock down farming in Jamaica if entertainment did around, but in the like so we eat food. I'm alone eat food. Can come up here, so come talk already. Say. Up here, so Black River belongs to him, and him come here so Indian food. Well, you know, name no food down here, so me a stand up with date and Campbell and Mark going in a Jamaica till that no spot.
Thank you, TikTok boss. Thank you, thank you. We're gonna ask. Thank you so much.
It's
Thank you.
questions are concerned. It's not a political campaign.
I'm gonna ask. Since two major issues came up from those questions. The first person who came up spoke on the roofs program. So I'm going to ask Senator Floyd Morris to come up to the podium. I'm going to ask him to come up and speak. All right, he can speak.
Microphone, okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Madam Chairperson. I want to acknowledge the Okay, thank you. I want to acknowledge the leader of the opposition, Mr. Mark Golding, and my colleague parliamentarians who are present here to speak on the different issues. And I must say to the residents of Black River and St. Elizabeth that we in the People's National Party continue to share your pain and your suffering. And that is why the leader has assembled this team to be here to hear the concerns from you so that we can better articulate the issues in the parliament. And I'm certain that you hear us speaking up the issues for you. But when we come to you live and direct like this, you know, we get more ammunition to go back to the parliament with, all right? So the issues about the roof program have been raised. And I tell you, residents, I am very annoyed by what has been taking place with the roofs program, because the government indicated that it was allocating $10 billion to assist residents across the country. When they did the assessment, some 113,000 individuals were assessed. And they were at different levels. I think they said 40% partially damaged, another 42% severely damaged, and then another 18 or so percent saw their houses totally destroyed. And they have different categories of assistance, starting from 75,000 for minor damage. I think it was 250,000 for severely damaged houses, 200,000 and 500,000 for those that have been totally destroyed. Now, when I listened to the minister who is responsible for labor and social security, talking on the radio program one evening, and he said that they have paid out about 8.8, close to $9 billion to individuals across the affected parishes and at different levels. And out of that, remember I said 113,000 individuals were officially assessed. He said 40,000 individuals received some form of benefit. So that means almost $1 billion was left to pay out to over 70,000 individuals, leader of the opposition. $1 billion to distribute to 70,000 households after they paid out that first almost $9 billion. And so I will tell you that I am in the parliament, in the Senate. The leader of the opposition is in the House of Representatives. Dr. Campbell is in the House of Representatives. And Mr. Ian Hales is in the House of Representatives. And Senator Keisha Henderson is with me in the Senate. And we don't hear of no additional funds allocated for the Roots program. And them, when they ask questions, the first thing them run for, because they can't manage me. So the first thing them start to do is cuss me, say me blind. But me I go ask them a question. No, because I want to know where is the rest of money coming from to pay the residents, the households across the parishes to get some form of assistance. I said to the Prime Minister, I see and hear that you are taking in third country nationals, 10,000 of them, into our country, which means that you will have to provide accommodation for them. I want to know, are you going to provide accommodation for those third country nationals before those deportees, before you provide the assistance to the other 70,000 individuals in Jamaica who have not gotten any assistance yet? We want to know, because we say Jamaica first, and we say that the people in Black River must get the assistance, because the roof, people still living under tarpaulin, as you have said. And we are here to stand with you tonight because we want you to get something over your head, proper and decent. Because when the hurricane came, it never searched out for PNP or search out for JLP. It hit Jamaicans, and we want Jamaicans to get the assistance. And finally, before I take the next round of question, they told us that they were going to provide some container homes to assist those individuals whose houses have been totally destroyed. No, so you know did hear? Because I want to know if me I make mischief, because me not in the mischief making. I want to talk what they say. And didn't you hear them say that those houses would arrive in Jamaica by January? All right. And you see that it never come January. And them delay and delay until them say some houses came in May, right? You know, hear that? All right. So some of the houses came in May. And now, May, June, July, 3 months, right? And I don't get any of the houses? So, do you think that a caring government, having seen and felt the plight of the people from October, Don't you think a caring government, the first house will come off of the wharf, that those houses would be distributed to the people who need it out in the communities? All right. So we want to know where the house them there.
Thank you so much, Senator Floyd Morris. I think that was one of the major issues affecting most of the residents in this room and the surrounding communities. Many of them are still living under tarps. Many of them are still living in homes without roofs, and they are not aware of any form of assistance in getting them resheltered. So that is coming out from the questions. The next question would be on water. So can we have, yes, you can do your presentation, then you can respond. Please give a round of applause for Ian Hales, MP.
Leader of the opposition, colleagues, citizens of St. Elizabeth, good evening. Good evening. All right, so before I go any further, I just want to say one thing. I remembered after Hurricane Beryl, Mark Golden was one of the first persons to come down here. That's number one. Number two, when Hurricane Melissa came, Mark Golden was one of the first person to come down here also. And you have some in Kingston, you know, and the media might go after me for this. But you have some in Kingston that might say the PNP is distracted. But that distraction, if there's such a word, Mark Golden is here today with you, the people of St. Elizabeth. And there's no doubt in my mind that if Mark Golden was the Prime Minister of Jamaica today, we'd be having a different conversation here today.
To answer the question or the concerns of the people.
But I can tell you this. You're here today because they're going to build this new shining city in St. Elizabeth, in Black River. And for most of you, it don't look like it's going to shine for you. That's what's happening. Now, I want to say this to you. To every time there's a crisis in this country, the People's National Party has always been there for the people of Jamaica. And secondly, I just want to say this to even the critics in the media. I have never seen a leader of the opposition work as Mark Golden work for the people of Jamaica.
That's not why we're here.
Inside the parliament and outside the parliament, Mark Golden has championed the cause of the poor people of this country, and that's why he's here with you, the people of St. Elizabeth, today. Look, my portfolio position is water, you know. And Black River has one of the largest bodies of water across the entire world. But yet you can't get the water. I see where the minister, if you look at the budget book and all of them fancy things are going to be brief today, you know. It is $80 million that is down for water, to truck water. And you would have thought more or less if St. Elizabeth and Westmoreland, everybody knows that this is where it means there will be a special occasion to ensure that they give you water. Even if they have a treat for you, that is being done as we speak. So before I go any further, I want to call on the Minister of Water, ensure that the councillors in the corporation get necessary funding to truck water for the people of St. Elizabeth. That's one. Two, Outweighs, I want to call on the local government minister also to make an allocation to the St. Elizabeth Municipal Council in ensuring that they can truck water to you. I just want to say one thing, and I want to touch on it, how the water thing will affect you. A lot of you might live on a piece of capture land or private land that doesn't belong to you. You have to go through hoops for NWC to give you a meter so you can get the water. I want you to understand what I'm saying. No, with this new city, you might can't get the letter from the government or get any water on it because it might act as a deterrent. Because the leader spoke about it a while ago that all of these small parcels of land, it's small people like yourself who owns it. And I'm saying here is, look, I think the government has said they're taking in investors, what, 10 to 15 million dollars US? 15 million US to build this new shining city here in St. Elizabeth. Whether you're an upper class businessman in St. Elizabeth or a lower class, this going to affect each and every one of you because it's not a lot of you. In St. Elizabeth here have 15 million US dollars sitting down as we speak. Look, I can say this to you. What the government ought to be doing is coming down here like what Mark Golden is doing right now. Coming down here to hear from you. Consultation, come on the ground. This is what PNP is all about. So I just want to say, look, I am writing down, I am sitting right here and writing down every area, every district, and I'm going to pen a letter and I'm going to call the Minister of Water because you need somebody to fight on your behalf. And I can tell you this much, if Miranda was, we will be a conversation in our But we in the People's National Party, we want to know where you fall in the shining city. Because it cannot only be shining for a few. It must shine for each and every one of you inside here. And that's a fight that this party, this People's National Party, is willing to take to the government. So I'm going to sit back. I want to hear from you, every community that is without water, every community that can be impacted by us position by making some changes, however small it is in your life. Because at the end of the day, we believe in the people of Jamaica. I thank you, and the word is love.
Well said, the opposition spokesperson on water. So as you come up with your questions, residents, citizens, please state the communities that are still without water, because we will be making some advocacy on that behalf. The second person who came up spoke on the state of affairs in vineyards, on agriculture. I'm going to hold off on Dr. Dayton's presentation, but I am going to take 2 questions. Right. I'm going to hold off on agriculture because I know of you in here are farmers and fisher folk, and you have a lot of burning issues that you want to share. But I also want to make an agitation to the business community. And I know our Senator Anderson is here to share with you on that portfolio. So those within the business community, your time now, if you can come up and share any questions, any issues, factors that are affecting you, because Black River 10 months ago was one of the most bustling, thriving towns in St. Elizabeth. And it's like it just get wiped off the map and forgotten, sweep under the rug. So Let me hear from you. We're still going to take some questions. We're going to take about 3 questions and then we move on to the next presentation. So let me hear from the residents. I think I heard somebody in the back who wanted to share. Just raise your hand and we'll take the microphone to you. You do not have to come up here. Once you stand, we can identify you. We'll take the microphone to you. Right over there. Just raise your hand so that we can see. Go ahead for me. If you want, you can still speak on agriculture. If you want. Anything.
I am Marsha Watson from Slington. I am in a mixed feeling. If you cut me, when me cry tears, when me not hear say me party up there. I cry so till. And me have my mother who have cataract on her eyes. She is on Mandeville Clinic. I know our eyes cannot be dealt with because we poor. Maybe if me the rich, he wouldn't look after it. And behind that, me have to wash here and I cannot get no water in Slington. It is very stressful. Me have to go people yard and sometimes they make up their face to give me liquor water. So me tired and me sick and stressed out. Me I tell you, say me stress.
Thank you for sharing, Marsha. I know it has been hard for you. All right, thank you.
Doctor, moderator, opposition leader and team, residents, good evening. Opposition leader and team, I'm a little bit disappointed in the response in terms of St. Elizabeth and the Western area, in terms of your advocacy on the ground with the Melissa persons, because you're aware that hurricane struck this area. Kingston, St. Catherine, Portland, those weren't affected. So I thought there should have been a little more focus on the ground in terms of what was happening to the persons. Because it is obvious to me that what has transpired with Melissa and the response of the government is the most incompetent program that I've seen rolled out as a response to an emergency. Incompetence from the beginning. It was fraught with a lot of mistakes, hiccups, and to date, opposition leader, there are hundreds of persons in St. Elizabeth who are yet to receive a benefit. The minister is using social media to spread misinformation. The numbers that are saying that how many thousands have been receiving benefit, that's not the true case. Up to now, there are persons who have submitted information to the bank or through NIS from 3 months, waiting to be paid, waiting to get a benefit, and they have not gotten it. So it is paperwork and PR instead of what is happening to the life of the people. What I want to ask opposition leader and your team, there are many persons who were evaluated. Their information went in, and when they are checking now, their names are not appearing. And there are many persons who have self-reported because they were not captured. Having self-reported, they were told that they would have been visited. The timeline for that has cut off, and hundreds of persons still have not been included. I'm going to ask you as your team to make representation in respect to these persons who have legitimately made it the timeline reporting, and those who have evaluated but they can't find a name. Make a special presentation, but some mechanism be in place to review those persons.
Secondly, in terms of party era, it was made of Major Anderson. I think the member of parliament went into party last week secretly. The residents weren't aware of it coming, only a few zealots. And I saw them making some announcement that they had some discussion with persons in the party. That is not true. A few persons they might have seen. And let me say to you that tomorrow, I have been told that tomorrow evening and tomorrow night, they will have a consultation. Most of the persons in the party have not been told, because they're doing it just to accommodate those who would be for you. So I want to put in the record all the people in party to be aware tomorrow at Brazil, they'll have consultation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing. Based on what you have shared, you would like to hear more advocacy on the roofs program for them to open that system back. So I think we're gonna, yes, we can take one more question and then we're gonna ask.
House is confirming that they are at the right location. And mischievously, they are removed from location to another location, suggesting that the person has another house. Secondly, the NIS payouts and whatever they're giving out is being political. The house rule from the soldiers is being political. There's a person that was called and confirmed, the soldier confirmed it was hit the right address. And weeks after, when they didn't put on the roof and the person investigated, they moved it to another individual. And they did it so smart that they went into the land tax listing and moved it to somebody with almost the same name as the person that don't live in Jamaica. Got a house via the death of his mother. And they also put his name on the NIS roll to achieve other things. And so most of the people, they think that when they register with the NIS, they are being sidelined and put on other people from the other parties getting through. And this is facts. This is something investigated and experienced by a lot of people. And another thing, why is it, to Mr. Campbell, I would like to get this out. I haven't got this information. Is it a requirement now for a farmer to have food angle permit? Why I ask that question, I am in position on my phone with a person getting information from the NIS to get some fertilizer. The person occupies a piece of land that I'm responsible for. And information, one of the information, the person has to get a food handler's permit just to get fertilizer, along with other information. So the farmer that is planting has to get a food handler's permit just to receive the fertilizer. So all these things is being put in the people's way, and it is moving. When they find out that they are a PNP, they move the thing from the complete.
Thank you so much, Mr. Reynolds. So based on what I'm hearing, you're saying is that some of the residents are experiencing political victimization. Okay. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Leader of opposition, colleagues. Hello, hi. Good, good, good. So I wanted to make a few points. If I could have your attention, please. I am in a similar mood to you, my lady. I am a little bit broken in spirit, listening to the concerns of the people. And the greatest issue I have with the government is that I believe that they're uncaring in the approach that they are pursuing. And I will give evidence as to why I came to that conclusion. First, we have a problem in Jamaica with predial larceny. That is persons who steal agricultural produce, whether it's crop or livestock. They take what does not belong to them and they try to sell it. To deal with it in relation to livestock, we came up with a system called the National Animal Identification and Traceability System, which is designed to ensure that you can tag the animals, right? So that it makes it harder for somebody to sell an animal if they do not have the tag and the record of the animal. Because the government is not giving any tags to the farmers or not tagging the animals, it is causing normal citizens to be made into criminals. So somebody who legitimately has their cattle, goats or pigs or whatever, are not able to sell them, because if they attempt to do so and they do not have the tag for the animal and the police were to intercept them, then they would be charged and treated as if they are the predial larcenist. They are the person that is stealing the animal. In 2023, the government reviewed the penalties. The penalties, it was $250,000 or 3 months in prison. This same administration, new administration of the same party, moved it to $3 million or 3 years in prison. So I want to understand, you're here and you're just raising your goats, you're raising your cow, you're trying to make a life so you can take care of yourself and your family. The government says they are trying to help you. We agree, put a tag in place. You know, put a system in place to tag the animals so we can trace them. And they moved the penalty from $250,000 or 3 months in prison to $3 million or 3 years in prison. And they don't provide any tags to the farmers who have their animals out there. It is wicked and uncaring. When I did some checks now and I said, let me look and see how much is it for a tag. The first animal is supposed to be tagged free of charge, and then $300 for every animal after that. The government, after the hurricane, went out and raised some money from people who said, all right, our brothers and sisters were affected. We are donating some money so you can go help them. People from Yard and people from abroad donated some money. $1.44 billion. Not million, you know. $1 billion. $1.44 billion. And up to February, the government spent less than 2% of it. 2% means that if it was 100 something that you have, them spend less than 2 out of it. So 98 still left. If they were to spend the 0.44 on some tax, they would be able to tag 1.46 million animals. So I can only come to the conclusion that they don't care. I can't come to any other conclusion. And the only conclusion I can come to is that they do not care. Agriculture suffered significant damage. And remember that I am your neighbor to the west. Remember, I'm your neighbor to the west here. So I understand firsthand the devastation that was experienced in these parts. Firsthand. In relation to housing stock, those that were damaged are totally destroyed. In relation to your businesses, your little shop that you would have, or any other business that you would have, got the same damage that the house would have gotten because they were constructed the same way. I understand the damage that you would have suffered in relation to electricity, the damage to the schools, the damage to your farms. And so I can stand here and state clearly that we support every single effort to rebuild for the people of Jamaica. Every single effort to rebuild for the people of Jamaica. And whatever we can do from where we stand to accelerate, fast track that process, make it happen quicker, we will do so, because we want the people to be restored to the condition they were in and be improved to even better conditions. We're not against that. I am anxious to see people returning to their regular life and their livelihood being restored. Agriculture is one of the main things that we can do to empower people. And I don't have to preach this to you, because St. Elizabeth is the breadbasket parish of Jamaica. 1 out of every 4 things that is produced in agriculture is produced in St. Elizabeth. 14 parishes we have, but 1 out of every 4 things that produce in agriculture, 24% of what we produce in agriculture comes from St. Elizabeth. Agriculture employs almost 300,000 people. You have the Minister of Agriculture as your member of parliament. The Minister of Agriculture as your representative. And next door is the Deputy Minister of Agriculture in the parish of St. Elizabeth. Both the minister and the deputy are from the parish of St. Elizabeth. When Beryl passed, the minister said that agriculture suffered $36.2 billion in damage directly. And if you look at a sector-wide thing, it is $60 billion. His numbers I'm giving you now. And that fisheries suffered $5.7 billion in loss. 45% of the fleet, the vessels, damaged. That's the information that he has, you know. How then could it be that he has done so little to help the people of the constituency that he represents and the people of the parish that he is from, to get them back on their feet? How comes? When you go out to do what you're doing, I know that most people here are hardworking citizens who want an opportunity, and you will make it if you get the opportunity. Had we been in government, we would have put a disaster fund in place so that we can respond to these things and respond in a timely manner. And I made this point during the sectoral debate. We would have ensured that the losses that you suffered that you would have been able in a transparent way so that nobody could stand up and say that people are benefiting based on the political party that they supported. We would have ensured that people benefit based on the practice of agriculture, the fact that they are registered and bona fide farmers. It is that basis on which we would have used to assist the people. And if we assist you, and you can go back out there, and you can grow your crops and raise your animals, then you could help to restore your own dwelling. You would have been in a position where you're earning your own money so you can help to put back things in order so that your house can be dealt with, your children's education can continue, and your life can go on. So, the critical point that we are making, it is not enough for the Minister of Agriculture to give out a few sachets of seeds and a few bags of fertilizer to the selected few, and the rest of the people suffer. And give out the exact same seeds and fertilizer to everybody so you get a glut in that particular item. And then shortly thereafter, there is scarcity in the same item because there is little planning that takes place in how we are going to respond to these things. I saw where a farmer in this constituency, I think Flagaman, planting onions, was complaining of the inability a few months ago to sell the onions, that they couldn't get anything for it. Fast forward to last week, I am reading an article in the Observer, and it said the market bag, onions now $500 a pound. Few months ago, you know, berating the fact that there is a glut, can't move the onions. And a few months on, it's now $500 a pound. And when he was complaining, he wanted $250 a pound. It is now twice that. There is no planning. There is no drying of no storage of the agricultural produce so that we can plan appropriately. We know how much of these items we use on an annual basis. The Ministry of Agriculture knows how much Irish potato is used, how much onion is used, how much cabbage is used, how much carrot is used. They have all of that information, you know. But yet still they fail to plan so that we can have a consistent supply throughout the year and that farmers can get adequate compensation for their hard work. Time may be delayed, but time is never denied. Your time will soon come.
Thank you so much. Yes. Okay, so we want to thank Dr. Dayton Campbell for speaking on the agricultural response. And we're now going to have Senator Keisha Anderson to speak on the reopening benefit program. Please give her a round of applause as she comes up to give her presentation.
Thank you, Dr. Miranda. Good evening, the people of St. Elizabeth. All right. I must tell you, you're an inspiration to me tonight, and I'm going to tell you why. Driving down here, the rain was pouring. Entering Black River, the place looks abandoned. Wouldn't you say so? So when I came through the gates and I saw the hundreds of people here waiting for their voices to be heard, I felt inspired, and my hat and maximum respect goes to each and every one of you. And I also want to thank and show respect to your counselors, because they so understood the plight and the fact that the attention has moved from the people of St. Elizabeth and out in the West. Because in Kingston, where you think everything is normal, you know. In Kingston, when you drive up there, you almost forget that a hurricane just impacted if it wasn't for the economy and the fact that not really going on in Jamaica. you will almost forget that there was a hurricane out there, because they would tell you over and over when you turn on the news that life is back to normal. Is your life back to normal? So I really want to thank your counselors for raising the awareness and bringing us here, and the opposition leader for responding immediately. Right. What we must remember, and I want you to remember, the same way you inspire me, you can inspire Jamaica, and you can educate the rest of us, because there's power in your voice. So one thing I heard you say, and in talking to the opposition leader, I said, let me get up and remind you or encourage you or guide you to do, is that a lot of people seem to have been assessed, but nothing has happened, right? You're living under tarpaulin same way. So I suggest that we create a big database. I don't know if the counselors can help you to register your name and the information that you gave, so that we know can advocate on your behalf. That's the best thing we can do. Hear what's happening, advocate for you. So do you think you can do that? Yeah, man, give your names and advocate. Because what I think the government is missing is the very fact that besides announcements, there are real consequences when nothing is happening. So if you don't have a roof over your head, and maybe your house was where you had your little shop, not true, where you sold from, and if you can't do business, you can't help yourself, and the same big business people are relying on you to buy from them, you can't buy from them either. So we'll have a shining city with nothing happening in the shining city. So we need to really get you back up on your feet. You heard the opposition spokesperson on agriculture speak very simply that if you're able to provide for yourselves, and the government wouldn't have to give out so much handouts, not true? Because you'll be generating enough income to do the things that you need to do. So what I'd like to encourage them tonight to do is to think about what's happening in the gap. So in the absence of things, real programs being put in place to help people, what's happening in the gap? Businesses cannot restart. If a business can't restart, the people can't help themselves. So they continue to hear the agony of people, because there'll be nothing given to them to help them to make a real difference in their lives. So the gap is what we need to deal with. Because a shining city, we want development, and nobody in the opposition will be opposing development, but the development has to make sense, and it has to be orderly. And people need to know that until development occurs, what do they do in the meantime? Not true? What you do in the meantime. So I want to really encourage you to get that list going, so that we can get a sense of what's happening and advocate for you. We can advocate both in the Senate and in the House of Parliament with your members of Parliament to advocate for real change and bring attention. We need to know your stories, so that when we turn on the news, we're not only hearing that everything is good, but we're hearing that the farmers don't have this, the people have no roof, small business cannot restart. The economy cannot do better if small businesses do not do better. I humbly suggest the word is love.
Well said. Well said. Okay, we're gonna hear from Mr. Goley.
I just wanted to endorse what Senator Anderson has said, and to add to it. So we've heard that there are many people who have not yet received a benefit. We would like to assist you to get that benefit. We need the information. We need the names, the district or address, contact number. So we not only can advocate in Parliament, but we can TRN as well. All of the usual things that would help to move this along. We can actually approach the ministry directly on your behalf. If we have that information and say, here are the names of X hundred people or whatever the number is, they say they've been assessed, they haven't received a benefit. What are you going to do about it? The truth of the matter is that the Roost program was funded out of last fiscal year's budget. That 10 billion was in last fiscal year's budget as amended in the last supplementary estimates. There was no provision in this year's budget for that program. So 1 billion plus is left, according to the minister. 70,000 families haven't yet received a housing benefit. That obviously can't work, because that money can't help 70,000 people. So the government has to come with an additional provision, which has to be approved in some supplementary budget. But we're not hearing anything concrete. And in the meantime, the data that we're hearing in terms of the performance of the economy is not looking good. But the government has to do what is necessary They have the support of the international community. Jamaica has the support of the international financial community. Things can be done to expedite assistance. They just need to put the plan in place and explain why it's necessary, and they will get the support. But they're not, it's just like we're on cruise control while people's lives are at a standstill, in a mess, and people are losing hope and getting more and more frustrated. So the gentleman who asked what we are going to do, and he made a comment about he'd have liked to have seen us be more active. I accept that criticism, sir. We're here today. We've been here before, and we want to support our local representatives. We want to support country. We want to support Buchanan. We want to support Fisher. We want to support Pagan. We want to support our caretakers as well. Leighton Smith, is he here too? Yes, I haven't seen him, but and Champion, all of our, we want to be helpful to them. So if they get the data and provide it to us, we will act on it and put pressure to try and get a result as quickly as possible. All right.
Well said, well said. We're going to take 2 more questions right away. And yes, I see Mr. Bennett. Can we get a microphone over to him, please? And he is from Parity, so I hope he speaks.
Comrade Leader, good evening.
This is my cousin.
Good evening, comrades. Comrade Leader, I am making appeal tonight on the behalf of Parity residents. Comrade Leader, I lived in Parity all my life. Yeah? And I am asking you and a team to visit us, to stand with us and advocate for us, because the residents, they are very much concerned about their future. Comrade Leader, for context, we only heard about the relocation proposal through media entities. No consultation was provided. Nothing at all was said to the residents on the ground, and neither a proposal on what the residents will do, if this relocation process should take effect. And Comrade Leader, many of the residents of Parity, they depend on fishing the sea. Their livelihoods are at stake. Comrade Leader, community tourism is another big thing in the Parity area, because many of the persons within the area, they take persons to and fro from Pelican Bar, and they would earn a living through that. So if you should take away all that from them, what is it that you expect these people to do? So I am appealing to you, Comrade Leader, to visit Parity, have a one-on-one interactions with the citizens, because they are depending on you to advocate on their behalf. We don't want a scenario to happen like what we have seen on television, like what have taken place in Bernard Lodge. Person wake up, before the dawn and heard their roofs going down. There is no plan for the government as it relates to the people of Parity. It seems as though they want to come in, to divide and rule, because based on information on the ground, they are trying to get people to agree to move, so they can have that information now and try to act in that regard. Comrade Leader, we are standing with the people of Parity, and we need your help to stand up and to advocate for them. Thank you.
Well said. Well said. We need to take that in note. And I think there are some other residents here from Parity as well. I know, yes. I know that there has been concern in regards to their electrification. I know many of them are still without electricity in areas in parity. Can somebody speak to that directly? Which communities within the parity belt that are still without electricity?
I think we all get
And
back
access
electricity and water
to
we
road.
have.
Are you coming around? We'll take, after this one, we'll take 2 more questions and then we'll move to the close because moving. Okay, we're waiting. Someone is coming. You want to speak? Okay. Is someone coming? Okay, go ahead. The councillor for Brompton would love to speak before the residents. Okay, go ahead, Councillor Buchanan.
Thank you, Dr. Miranda Wellington, comrade leader, members of the head table, citizens of St. Elizabeth, good evening. I stand there and I listen, and many of the things that are said is common across the constituency and the parish. But 2 things are of concern to me, and I hope party leader can help. The replacement of the street lights. I am coming under great pressure because there's a narrative out there that is the councillor supposed to replace the street lights that were damaged. So I'm asking if you can look into that situation for me. Another thing is it's one thing to get the roof grant, but there are sections of my division that having problem with access in those parts of the area. For example, the hardware, the trucks, they are unable to get up to those areas. So I'm having problems or issues with the road network in my division. For example, Forest Mountain, Hodges Land, the roads are damaged bad. When trucks are going up there with the docks, they are falling off. So the money is being wasted. Material or the hardware can get up. So I'm asking the current leader, see what they can do. We can work together and get something done in terms of the road network and the street light, replacing the street lights.
Thank you so much. Okay, so 2 major issues came up. Access, road access. There are still communities, not just in Brompton, also there are communities in Pedro Plains, Round Hill Green Town. There is no access to that area currently. There is also 2 communities in Mountainside still without access, road access, because in Treasure Beach, the road is completely destroyed from the police station to the bottom of the hill. And so we're asking for some agitation, some advocacy for better road network. And the electrification, street light, okay. When the hurricanes came, there are many light posts that were down. The light posts were put back up without any street lights. I don't know if many of the residents understand what that means. You're in complete darkness. Many of your homes are still without electricity because it cannot be rewired because there's no roof. And also, your communities are without light. Without light, that is a recipe for criminality and insecurity. So we're asking for some advocacy in that regard. I am still waiting on the 2 persons who had asked to speak. If not, okay, go ahead.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Big up my comrade leader. Straight up. Yeah, what I want to suggest is I would like to have a stabled put to rather. I am a farmer of I'm from Five Pen, St. Elizabeth in the Brompton Division. And I am having a real difficult problem, which others are having it too. When it comes to chicken, I have a loss of 500 chicken in the Melissa disaster. And I went to RADA and told them my problem. They gave me a number to call a special person. I do so, and not even one time out of about 50 times that I've been calling that person, I'm not getting through. So I would like you to stable it and put it on the table to RADA and find out what is the problem, because there is no farmer from over by my side that have been benefit out of RADA. 5 Pen. I'm from the Brompton Division. Yes. So Clifton Spencer. Yes. Buchanan and Brompton Division, yeah. So that is my few words. And one more thing. I am having a little problem with my colleagues from the People's National Party, because there is, I don't know if it's Roma going around saying that there is going to be some runoff with my party leader. I want to make that clearly, and also Jamaica to be understand if it's lie or true. Okay? Yes, thank you very much.
Sir, this is not a Melissa issue.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Clifford. Okay.
This is not a issue for Yasso. You know, take the politics out of it.
So, on the question of your inability to, or the fact that you haven't got through to that number, what I would say, if you can provide your information in terms of name and number and the name of the district to Councillor Buchanan, who can get it to me, I will approach rather, not just on your behalf, but on behalf of everybody in your community who is in a similar position. Yeah. In terms of parity, boy, Kevar, it's good to hear. It's good to hear from you, Kevar. You know, I mean, it's good to hear from you. Yeah. I will try to find the time to come back to visit parity specifically. It will not be in the next 2 weeks, because I'm actually traveling, and then there's independence. But I will try and find time even in August for come to the community and talk to the people, because I know based on everything that's swirling around, there's a lot of insecurity. And you make the point, if you're going to relocate people who depend on the sea and the proximity of Pelican and so on to some other place, how are they going to make a living? You know, these are the kind of issues that before any plan is made about relocating communities to build some new city, these things have to be resolved with the people. I also have to wonder, you know, you're talking about moving people because they were hit by a hurricane. But there are coastal communities right around Jamaica. The hurricane happened to hit this area this time. A future hurricane, lightning don't strike in the same place twice, them say. A future hurricane could hit any part of Jamaica, any coastal community. So, you know, to take a decision now to do it here, what about everywhere else? I'm just wondering what the real plan is. You know, and I'm told that there are politically connected persons who have been buying up land in this area, and it's really an opportunity for profiteering to take place on the land that they've invested in. Now, I can't tell you whether or not that is completely factual, but I've heard this from several sources. So we are concerned about the way the government is going about this. It needs greater transparency. It needs to be more inclusive in its consultation with the people. And the whole idea of it must be a people-centered thing. It must be about helping the people to have a better life, not about any other agenda of any kind. And as for the last point you made, sir, one Marky G on the app. One.
All right. And on that note, and on that one Marky G note, we are gonna ask for one last question. One last question.
Testing. Opposition leader. I'm a pretty shy person. And I was sort of reluctant to come here. But I think I have pressing concerns. I'm a retired civil servant. I spent 42 years with the government. I have a little farm. Incidentally, my name is John Barrowell. I have a little farm, not very far here, where I had at one stage 125 mother pigs. Not pigs, mothers alone. I spent a lot of funds developing a farm. And I was devastated by Melissa. Some people call it hurricane. I call it tsunami. I don't know where this thing named hurricane came from. It's a tsunami. If you're to go to my farm right now and see the thousands of zinc sheeting, I am distraught. I'm sort of a little demotivated. But a lot of people depend on me in terms of, because we are a slaughtering center. People will bring their animals and we slaughter. We supply. So my problem is not just roofing, where my place was devastated. It is how can I resurrect to become useful not only to myself but to the community that depends on me. And my wife, who happens to have been the president of the Pig Farmers Association, who is off the island and is returning shortly to prepare for Denby Agriculture Show, the Pig Farmers Association. The problem that I have is how can I get a kickstart, a re-injection of funds so that I can carry on. As I said, that there are people who depend on me, not only in the parish of St. Elizabeth, but as far as Hanover and Westmoreland, because Grace Slaughtering Facility has gotten their hit too. So people are relying on us to provide slaughtering service. Can you imagine people taking their pigs now to that place in Spring Village where they slaughter chickens, Jamaica broilers, as far as there, to go back down the line to do their thing. So we are in the mix of things. So that's one aspect. Having spent 42 years with the government, I retired as the chief motor vehicle examiner for the island of Jamaica. And I remember you touched on the subject of what are minor offenses that people are being ticketed. And that hurts, because I was the one that convened the very first meeting to start to review the Road Traffic Law Act. And that was over 20 years ago it started. I'm retired now 17 years. I see where there is talk that by the Minister of National Security on Deon Jackson's show some time ago, where they talk about educating the public. Total lie. I say that because if in my position, I have never been privy or heard of any consultation, any meeting to apprise people of, not even me know the new road traffic law. So how can the ordinary person know it? I know the inside out of the old road traffic law. And I know that there are aspects of it that are intertwined. And they call it new. The government call it new. I call it a revised edition. Because a lot of the old road traffic law comes over. So it should be a revision of the road traffic. There is an overlap of what the police personnel are carrying out and what the Island Traffic Authority officers ought to do. Example, a lug nut missing, $10,000. You have 6 lug nuts on your car wheel, or 5. And the police is saying you have 1 missing and you are ticketed for 10,000. What an examiner would do or ought to do is to issue in law a warning notice for a minor offense. Any little thing like that. It's not detrimental, and it is a prerogative of the certifying officer in the Island Traffic Authority to say, hey, you are missing. I'm going to issue a warning notice, and you bring the vehicle to me within 7 days. And let me see that you really did it. What an injustice! And there are several other issues that when I glanced into the new road traffic law, there are current serving motor vehicle examiners that still we are actually observing some aspects of the old law to apply in this situation. So what I'm asking you in your capacity as opposition leader, in the Senate as a senator, any parliamentarian, is to take task, advocate on behalf of the people who are unaware of the law of this country. Basic rights. People don't know. We are dependent on you. So there are two things. One, maybe maybe opposition leader, you may have to advocate for a repeal of the so-called new road traffic law. A repeal, to look into it in its entirety, because some of the aspects of it really and truly doesn't really apply to Jamaica at this time. I could avail myself to have a little panel to assist in that regard. With that, I rest my case.
Well said. Thank you, John Bardwell.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bardwell. Well, I would say the first chapter of your presentation, dealing with the situation that you have faced as an accomplished farmer, rearer of pigs, indicates the need for a Marshall Plan. It indicates a need for a serious system of ensuring funding flows to get established, reputable business people, small, medium, micro, back on their feet. The economy cannot restart if you didn't have insurance, or if your insurance is being hit by average, and the average clause is really being operated in a way that people didn't fully understand, and it has hurt a lot of people. And that has to be addressed. That's a separate matter already. Many of us don't even know what I'm talking about when I say the average clause. But it is a real issue where they say if you have something that you insure a house, and you insured it based on a value of $10 million, and it get licked, and when they come and assess it, they say the house wasn't worth 10 million before it was hit. It was worth 20. And the damage you suffered is $5 million. They say, well, 10 over 20 is a half, so you get half of the 5 million. That's essentially what it does. That's what the average clause does. And many people have found themselves underinsured. And there needs to be a review of how that works in Jamaica. But the bigger point really is, on the first aspect of your presentation, is that it speaks eloquently to the need for a really comprehensive program to get business people of all sizes, especially the small and medium operators, back on their feet. The economy can't recover properly, and this part of Jamaica is going to suffer generational harm if we do not deal with it promptly now. On the matter of the Road Traffic Act, it's a massive piece of legislation. It has a lot of complexity in it. A whole load of rules and offenses are created by it. And when the way in which it's being rolled out and interpreted on the road by the officers of the law leaves the motoring public feeling that it is unjust, it is unfair, it is disproportionate, and it don't make sense, then Parliament should review it. I'm not saying we have to repeal the act. It took 20 years to pass it. But I'm saying we have to review the aspects of it that are impacting people's lives directly now and sort out some of those issues, so we have less people who are feeling as if it's being oppressively handled. And the same way we talked about the oppression of animal which is not tagged and is then sent to the pound.
That's a reception problem. Let's see if it come back up. Otherwise, we'll go to bed.
Because the animal wasn't tagged because the government isn't providing the tag. The same applies where a police officer, for a relatively trivial thing, imposes a ticket without a warning. You could be driving your tail light or your brake light stop working and you don't know. And a police officer stop you, bam. You're going to get ticketed for that without the one procedure, which says your tail light not working. If you don't fix it the next time you're caught, you're going to pay the ticketed fine. The law needs to work for the people. The law should not oppress people. And we understand that. And we're going to continue to advocate for that review before the merit point system is overlaid on top of the existing system, which is going to make it even harder for people, especially taxi operators and bus operators. I'm going to hand back now to Dr. Miranda Wellington. Here is the microphone, ma'am. Thank you for your excellent performance.
Thank you again. Thank you again, opposition leader. And I hope that a lot of your answers, a lot of your questions were answered. And I hope that the questions that you gave were clear enough for us to record and make notes so that we can give responses in another forum. I know that we may not have all the answers tonight, but what is important is the engagement that took place tonight. The communication, the interaction, the respect that you deserve, that your leaders have given you tonight. Please give them a round of applause. Tonight, your voices were heard. And even though you did not get everything that you wanted, one thing is for sure, this is the beginning of a recovery process. And I'm glad that you didn't hold back. I'm going to go straight into your vote of thanks, and I'm going to invite Mrs. Patricia Scarlett to come and give the vote of thanks.
Globalists, we will leave it here because we have refocused our program to the town hall meeting. The program we had planned for tonight, then we will run that tomorrow morning. So thank you all for being here tonight. We need to go sleep now. We're there over 2 hours. At 2 minutes to 2 in the morning. After 2 in the morning in Britain, really, because the computer time's slow. So it's after 2 in the morning in Britain. So thank you all for being here tonight. Lovely to have your support. Please do join us back tomorrow morning for your At a Glance program. Thank you and good night from Global TV.
Too long in our little ghetto, run keep going on less process. For children of Israel do really love rights. So just I say watch a man around Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel, I should never hold thy peace. What wrong is going on? Hey, oh, we gonna bust down Babylon walls. Prepare and read the way. Prepare and read the way for jumping. Let's go. Fight down, war cry. Fight down. Me say Rastafari. War and cry. And do that righteousness. And we love. And we love Jaja. And we love Jaja. Rastafari. And we love Jah. We love Jah. Jah Rastafari. We love Jah. Jah Rastafari. Preserve all people. Put time away. Put time away. Again. Listen. Yeah. So just as I say, watch a man around Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel, I should never hold thy peace while we are penalized. Hey, oh, night. We gonna bust down Babylon gates. Prepare and read the way. Prepare and read the way for Jah Rastafari. Fight down war and fly. righteousness. And we love Jah. And we love Jah. And we love Jah. Rastafari, preserve all. And we love Jah. Me love Jah. Me love Jah. Rastafari, preserve all. Me love Jah. Rastafari. Yeah, the next song is going to be the last song for tonight. And then DJ Twink.
If you don't like missing out on the latest shows but still enjoy classic hits, then Global TV Group 358 is your perfect match. Global TV Group 358 isn't just another channel, it's your ultimate TV experience. From breaking news to binge-worthy dramas and timeless classics, we've got it all. Our unique blend of original content and global favorites means there's something for everyone. And guess what? With GTVG's seamless streaming, you can watch anywhere, anytime. Plus, our interactive features let you be part of the action. So, whether you're a seasoned binge watcher or a casual viewer, Global TV Group 358 is here to keep you entertained day and night. Don't just watch TV, experience it with Global TV Group 358. Subscribe now and never miss a moment.